Bless you all. Welcome to Minutes with Jesus. My name is Elizabeth, for those who don't know. I know it's been forever. Forgive me, please. This video is way, way, way overdue. I've been dying to tell you all about the glorious things that happened on that Sierra Leone Africa mission trip, and today you get to hear it. So I'm very excited to share it with you. Firstly, let's just show you the exterior. I got this there. I forgot what it's called, but they have phenomenal seamstresses that they have their sewing machines right outside, and it's not electrical. And well, I don't even know where to start. I'm talking about my clothes. I got this there on the beach. People, you can buy stuff anywhere. You never have to go shopping. It looks as if it was made with scraps, just all sewn together. A gentleman carved this, a little lion out of wood. I was given this while I was there from the wonderful missionaries that we stayed with, Brant and Joanne. You can always keep them in prayer. Phenomenal work that they are doing for the Lord there. I went with this team there. I went with this team to Sierra Leone. This is us there. Um, on the side, you can kind of see a little bit of a house. That hut thing is not a house, and neither is it a house for the people that are there. It's just a hangout kind of thing. This is some of the kids that I was with, and this is a church plant that we did most of our work in. Well, I wouldn't say most of our work. We spent like 4 days there. Um, it was in the process of being built. It now has walls, glory to God, but it didn't have a floor at the time, and they had just finished the ceiling. Um, and those are kids singing, worshiping with us. I bought this while I was there. It is a cover for my Bible. It was such a blessing. It was such a blessing. I had my birthday there. I was given this as a gift. This is made out of recyclable paper. I bought it while I was there. You'll say I went on a shopping spree, but it's kind of fun because their money exchange rate is very different. They have different money, of course, and yeah, so the exchange rate is very different. So I got all this at a very, 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 very reasonable price. But enough about that. Let me tell you the stuff that I know you want to hear. But first, I want to give the testimony of how the Lord provided for my trip. Because, firstly, how the Lord let me know that He wanted me to go was a blessing in itself. So, I remember I was in a mission trip to Costa Rica. So, this was 2 years ago. And in that mission trip, I had a dream. And when I woke up from that dream, I knew I was in Africa. The dream, that the dream had taken place in Africa. And I knew that I was with my pastor. And I left that dream saying, I think the next mission trip that I'm going to is in Africa. But I wanted to keep it private. I only shared my dream with those that I was rooming with at the time. But then that day, all these people that didn't even know anything about my dream, I kept bringing up Africa. And it's like, that's the most randomest thing to ever talk about. I, went to Pastor and I was like, Pastor, what are you thinking about maybe the next mission trip might be? And he's like, well, this is Africa maybe. And I'm like, Africa? I had a dream about Africa, So it's pretty crazy. Um, But I just think that the Lord was preparing his heart to help me to go with my school. So, anyways, then Shayla started, she's another girl in church. She was talking about, everybody just started talking about where they would like to go, and everybody kept bringing up Africa. And I just thought it was strange, you know. So anyway, then little do I know, the Lord brings me to Texas. I go to school there, which was something that I decided after that missions trip. And they're having I don't know what it's called, but a convention, not a convention, but basically where they tell about all the mission trips that they're sending out, excuse me, that school year. So I was like, all right, Lord, you know, just lead me to wherever you want me to go. So it's like, you know, there's all of these booths up, and I'm just walking, and then I just stop at this booth, and I didn't even know where it was for, and it was for Africa. After I asked, it was like, I gotta sign up. It's like I remembered my dream. Then some time passed. I was getting really discouraged with school. School gets you stressed out. When you do not make it a point to set aside time, personal time with the Lord every day, it catches up with you. Elizabeth cannot make it on her own. I learned that the very hard way. And one day I'm stressed out and I was in chapel, and literally the preacher was saying everything that I was going through. It's like Jesus didn't keep a secret. I'm just kidding. And then the altar call, I go up there, and the lady prays over me, and she says, the Lord is going to remind you why he sent you here. And then that night I had a vision of the continent of Africa. And then I was reminded of the mission trip that I had signed up for, that I had lost connections with. Bada bing, bada bam. I end up on the Africa plane, you know, sometime later. But how I got the funds, $3,000. Now, this is a miracle. So, they were selling t-shirts. I sold some t-shirts. But I have to say, the two miracles were the two churches. My two churches that have become my home and my home. My home is the one that I've grown up all my life, New Jersey. They gave me a love offering that really it allowed me to go. Then my church home in Texas, University Church. My goodness, thank you guys. Um, I go in that church service, it being the last church service I'm gonna have in Texas, because I'm going back to Jersey. It was, you know, summer, and I say in the Bible study, you know, Bible study, which is only for college students. I need prayer for finances so that I can go on this mission trip. I don't know if I'll be able to go because I don't have enough money, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the service, you know, which is with everybody, they do a prayer for all of the students that are, you know, leaving. And then I want to say goodbye to what we call, you know, home, pastora, which is the pastor's wife. And then there's this gentleman talking to her. And little did I know that he would be the preacher for the night service. I didn't know that. You know, I just, you know, say goodbye to the lady. He does some small talk with me and says, you should go on a mission trip. And I said, well, actually, I am. I'm going to Africa. And then he's like, oh, wow, you know, and then he leaves, right? I take a picture with Pastora, and then I leave. Little do I know, he's coming back, and he says to the Pastora, I felt it in my heart that this girl needs money to go on this mission trip. And that's overheard by the person that taught the college Bible study. And he's then saying, but I don't know if she need money. I mean, and he's there saying, yes, she does. She does not have enough money yet. And so then I get this text from the pastora saying, um, we got these people here, they want to donate to you $500. I'm like, so I usually don't go to the night services, but I needed to go. I needed to thank them. So I go there and I write a little thank you card, give it to them. And this is when I find out that this guy is, the preacher. So he sees me, and from the altar, as he's speaking, he says, I don't want any money given to me for this preaching. I want all the money to be given to this girl to go on this mission trip. Oh man, I get warm-hearted just thinking about it. And that's when I knew for sure, because I was hitting the cutoff that I needed to hit a certain amount of money at that time. And that donation of that church allowed me to be able to go. And then the donation at home from my home church let me go the whole way. So thank you, my loving pastors of both churches, Pastor Andino and Pastor Eddie. I thank you for your churches. They are spirit-led, both of them, and I couldn't have made it to having that trip without the blessing of your loving people in your church and your loving hearts. Okay, now let me tell you blessings of at Africa. Wow. I saw a poverty there that I had never witnessed in my whole entire life. And it leads me to a prayer request because there was an awful mudslide recently in Sierra Leone, Africa. 600 people are missing. 300 people are dead. And it was in Freetown, which is one of the more well-established towns of Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone it's a growing nation. It's growing. So these people are so poor. They don't have a lot. In comparison to what we have, they don't have anything. So this mudslide has taken all that they have, because for many of them, all they have is their family. So I ask that you would pray, you would intercede for Sierra Leone at this time, for these people in this mourning season. The Sierra Leone people, they might be poor, but not in their hearts. Oh wow, they are the richest of people when it comes to the love in their heart. I've never met, and I come from a very loving culture. I am not putting the Hispanic culture down, but I have never met a more loving people ever. These people, they love you. Just because you are a visitor in their country, they want to honor you. I would go to services, and they don't have a lot of chairs. They're small churches. We would always need to be given the best seats in the churches. People would give us their seats. They would stand up, and something hit me when I came back. I was like, what if all that person had was that one chair that they sat on for that hour they are in church. Because maybe their home doesn't have furniture. So for them to give up that hour, 2 hours of a seat in church to us, somebody they've never met, what if that's all they had? And it made it all the more beautiful to receive. Um, most of the people in Sierra Leone are Muslim, but it's not the Muslim that I've come to know in New Jersey, which I've learned is not the Muslim I've come to know in Texas. So there's many different, you know, I don't even know if sects is the right word to use, but anyway, the Muslims of Sierra Leone, there are many, and the fruits of animism in Sierra Leone has produced a lack of understanding that they must take care of their lands, like in the sense of tomorrow is promised. They don't believe that tomorrow is promised. So they live only for today. Why save money for tomorrow? Tomorrow is not promised. You work for today so you can have food for today, but why would you save for tomorrow that tomorrow is not promised? Why would I pick up, this off of the ground? These things, it's not of an understanding. 45% of the people are literate. So most of the people are not. It's just crazy. It's a different world. It's a different world. It's just a different world. It's like living in a different country. We are so blessed. But I'll tell you, I learned something for the Sierra Leone people, and that is how to, I don't even know how to express it, but the love that these people have is phenomenal. And of course, I almost forgot. Of course, we preach the word of Jesus. As I said, we did a lot of work in this church plant. And when we were doing the work there, we were evangelizing and showing Jesus films. And, it's like a 3-hour film. So, you would think that some people would just want to leave after a while. But it's not like they got movie theaters over there. It's just crazy. We take these little things for granted. Their electricity is very limited. So the electricity was constantly going in and out. Water is limited. I thank the Lord so much for Brant and Joanne. The sacrifices they make for the Lord are so moving. But it is not going void. I can only fathom the pain that's going on right now in Sierra Leone. The way the Sierra Leone people mourn for their loss. And we're talking 600 people that are missing, 300 that are dead. So the Sierra Leone people, they all mourn together. That's how they mourn, together. Everything is communalism, community, together, sharing. So they will blast music all night long to the fullest of volume so that the whole country can hear and mourn together. So I'm sure that Brant and Joanne most likely are not sleeping. The whole country is not sleeping because together they are mourning for their lost and loved ones. And I know I'm in New Jersey, but I am so sorry if any Sierra Leone people are watching. I'm so sorry for your loss. I am so sorry. And I am praying for the recovery of your country, that you will be able to quickly rebuild, that you will be able to quickly economically grow. Um, the beautiful thing that is happening in Sierra Leone is that churches are being built. People are hearing the word of God, and so many people gave their hearts to Jesus while we were there, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. We went into villages, and wow, I can only say wow. Wow, 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 wow. Sierra Leone has left a mark in my heart, but I also know that Jesus is making his mark all over there. And I guess that's all I need to say. Africa food is not my thing. It's too spicy and kind of goes right through me. What else could I say? I feel like if I start talking to you about the people individually, I'll never stop talking. But it was an amazing trip. It was an amazing trip. It was an amazing trip. I learned to not take anything for granted. If you are in the US, you are blessed. God bless you. Bye bye.